Yeah.
Hey, ladies. Hey,
Dr.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Good
yes,
evening.
good evening. We're happy you're here.
Yes.
Glad to be here.
Yes. Warriors, come on in. Come on in the room. We're excited. It is Warrior Wednesday, and we're
Warrior.
going to be talking about I am enough. Oh, yeah. So come on in, ladies. I see Chanel is
Yes.
here.
Thank you.
Yes.
Today,
Lady.
Lady Rose is in the
Miss
house.
Rose, Lady Rose, Godlock.
Erica.
Yes. And Erica. Hey, Erica. Yes. Come
You
on
guys,
in.
it's gonna be so fun tonight. We had, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I got butterflies. I'm excited.
Yes, ladies, come on in. We ask for you to share with your friends so they can come in because tonight is going to be so great. It's going to be so good. I'm just so excited that Dr. Tara is with us. Hey, Deidre. Yeah.
Hey,
Lisa, Warrior.
Kelly. We see you, Kelly.
Yeah, Kim. Yes, come on in. You cheating on Rose says she's cheating on her Bible study to be here with us today. So
Kelly, you can go back and watch it.
Yeah, like me, you need two things: an iPad and a laptop. Sometimes I do that on Bible study now.
Yeah.
iPad. So
yes, so come on in.
Dr.
Yes,
Carter.
yes, hey Carla, come on in. So ladies, last week it was so good. How many enjoyed last week? Oh my goodness. It was been speaking to me all week
Yeah.
long about just how the lies and the way we see ourselves. And just to have the fact that now we have, what was our new word from last week? That Kendra gave us.
Godfidence.
Our confidence, that we have that confidence in God. So we walking around in confidence. So I am so excited because I needed that today. When I say everything went wrong today that could possibly go wrong today, I was just like, you know what? I just don't feel like doing nothing. But God and his faithfulness, I had to tell myself, wait a minute, you're worried about something that's not even that important. We can't go anywhere. So why am I mad my car not working? Right. So I was like, you know what, Lord, I am going to rest in him. Did y'all see the shirt? What shirt, Chanel?
Was that the message she sent us earlier?
Oh, she made the phone? Oh, we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that later, Chanel. I don't know what shirt. You can tell us what shirt you're talking about. So we wanted to ask you, ladies, last week we talked about the lies that we told. So this week, what were some of the affirmations you spoke over yourself this week? What affirmations did you speak over yourself this week? So I know for this week, I told myself, Dr. Tar is, who's that? Jessica texting me. I'm sorry. Jessica, you can't text me while I'm talking because then I forget. What affirmations did you speak over yourself this week?
Oh, so for me, I started because I was so excited to do that. So this on Friday, I put on my laptop and I shared it I put the hashtag flip the script because I had been telling myself and worry that I wasn't, things were going to fail, that I'm not good enough. And I didn't realize that after we got off the call that those are the things that I was telling myself. So I repented and I told God, the scripture tells me that I am. So I went to the scripture and I read about Gideon and how he didn't feel, adequate, when God called him. So I put the scripture in Judges 2:11. He said God called him. And I just I put that up. So I told God, yes, you are enough. No more fear. No more fear. You are. You are capable of doing exactly what I told you to do, because I didn't feel that it was going to be. So that was my flip the script on myself, and I put that up Friday. So after I went, so.
Flip the script. Chanel says her words and affirmation that I will not be defeated.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I will not be defeated. Deidre said God is still using me. Yes,
That's
yes.
good.
Yes, God is still using me. Jessica, did you have to speak any affirmations over yourself this week? Well, what affirmations
I did. I had a little running at work. I had got left off a couple emails, so I felt a little down. Like, am I not enough? I'm not doing my job. Am I not worthy? But then I had to encourage myself, and I just had to reset. So yes, I did. I had to affirm myself this week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Amen.
Yes. Anybody else? So stop talking. Stop talking myself out of what God said do.
That's
yes,
good.
Rosita.
That's
yes.
it. That's
That's
it.
good.
Stop talking yourself out of what God said to do. That is good. So
Mhm.
good. So we don't want to be long. So we're going to do our trivia real quick. The trivia winners from last week was whom?
Alicia.
Alicia.
Alright.
Way to go, Alicia. You won this week, girl.
She came to win. And
She's going to be so happy.
She came to win. So she finally won, Alicia. I'm so excited for you. So we'll be mailing out your gift card this week to you. So yay, way to go, Alicia. So this week we're doing movie trivia, which we all know that we all love movie trivia here when we do it. So I'm going to turn it over to Shannon to do our trivia for the week.
All right, ladies, are you ready? Are you ready? And this week is really special because the winner this week is going to win a copy of Dr. Tara's book that we're going to be talking about shortly. So get your fingers ready. I'm telling you, I've started reading it. I'm not finishing it. I haven't finished, but it is a blessing. It is a blessing to me. And so get ready because here we go. Here goes your chance. All right. I'm ready, Lady Paula. Movie trivia number 1. In this movie, Slim, played by Jennifer Lopez, takes her daughter and flees from her abusive husband. What is the title? So the title of this movie. Come on. Come on, all our movie buffs.
I kind of gave you the answer.
Okay.
Okay, Dana, stop talking. Dana, stop talking. Because Dana, when she talks, you get an answer. So Dana, stay mute.
We have a winner.
We have a winner.
Bonnie Lindsay.
Bonnie Lindsay.
Oh, Miss Lindsay.
Yes. Her name was Slim too. I thought y'all was gonna come up with Queen and Slim, but it is enough. I thought they want y'all to say Queen and Slim, but they were, he wasn't abusive.
They wasn't. That wasn't that. But that was a good movie. That was one of my favorites.
It's a great movie.
But she beat him real good. Yeah.
Yay, Miss Bonnie! Congratulations.
Animalistic rights.
You are entered in our challenge.
Okay,
Yay.
so the next one.
In this movie, Georgia Bird, played by Queen Latifah, lives her life shying away from the things she wants until she discovers she has a terminal illness that forces her to make her possibilities a reality. Come on.
Come on, y'all.
Come on.
I like this movie too.
Yeah,
I love this movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Love this movie. Come on, they thinking.
They thinking or Googling.
I see you thinking. Or Googling, right?
No Google. Okay,
Uh-oh. Kendra.
Kendra, come on.
Okay, Kendra has it.
Kendra got it.
Gets into
Last
it.
holiday.
Y'all
Yes.
want this book, okay?
LL Cool J.
That's
like
one of my
that.
favorite movies
I like
too.
that.
I do love that movie. Because all this time she lived her life beneath thinking she couldn't do anything but
Yes.
terminal illness, or her belief she had a terminal illness made her, you know what, push past the limits. And so I love that movie. Yes. Okay, so our last one of the evening, and I'm sure this one's gonna come in fast, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, I think so too. In the movie The Help, Aibileen repeats 3 positive affirmations to the toddler she cares for. Now, we want it in the vernacular, right? We want it the way she says it.
Just how she said it.
Just how she says it.
Yes, it has to be exactly how it's said.
Just how she says it. Come on. You're typing.
I'm surprised Jenny, because Jenny fast. With Jenny and her fast fingers, Jenny be like, she been.
Jen knows.
Almost, Ms. Rose. We need it in the order. In the
order, yeah. There's Jenny, but I tell you.
There she is.
Didn't I tell you? Jenny,
that's it, Jen. You is kind. You is smart. Oh, kind should have been first. My bad.
Yeah.
You is important.
Kind should have been first. I wrote it wrong. I did it wrong.
Yeah. You is kind. You is smart. You is
important. Yes.
Show that affirmation to that little girl, because that was stuck to her for the rest of her life.
Yes.
Hold it.
Absolutely.
Yes. You all did great. So we have our 3 winners.
Yes.
And we'll announce at the end. Normally we wait till the next week, but we'll announce at the end who's the winner of Dr. Tara's book. So I'm so excited. So yes, I'm glad she's here. We thought she was going to come in a little later, but she was able to come in earlier.
Woo!
So,
thank y'all.
Yes. So we're so excited about the book Enoughness. It's called Enoughness, The Journey to Discovering Who You Already Are. And some of you ladies know who Dr. Tara is. She has been to our church and she blessed us so at our women's conference. I can't remember what year that was, but it was just so amazing. Like, she set the tone for the day. The Lord really used her. We couldn't move past that point for a while. And I'm just so grateful for her friendship. And I'm just so excited that when God dropped her in my spirit last week and she said, yes, I could come on Warrior Wednesday, because we wanted to have some next steps or things to encourage us. But when I started reading the book, the first page, it's a quote in there that I'm going to put up, Dr. Tara, but, and it was called, the quote was, how you view yourself is often revealed in how you introduce yourself. How you view yourself is often revealed in how you introduce yourself. So before I have Dr. Tara explain what she meant by that statement, I want to ask you ladies, how do you introduce yourself? In just a few words. You know how when you go into it, like if you're at a new meeting or at you're in a group and a new people and they ask you to go around, please tell us a few things about yourself. What do you say? I mean, I know if I do it, I normally say, I'm the wife of Pastor Billy T. Staten Jr. I'm the mother to Benjamin. I may say I'm a hairstylist. I may say I dabble in graphics, or I may say I'm a sister. I'm a good friend. I may say something like that.
Right.
What do you guys say? And we're also asking you ladies, what do you say out there? How, in just a few words, we want you to give a bio, but just a few words of how you introduce yourself.
Interesting.
But Jessica, how would you introduce yourself, Jess?
So I say, I'm Jessica. I'm personable. I like shopping. I do hair. I'm a sister. That's some of the things.
Mhm.
So yeah, sometimes I get in rooms and I don't know how to introduce myself. So that shows you where I fall. But then I also may say I'm a loyal friend. I'm funny, and that's probably why I say I'm very funny. I'm witty. I always say that about myself, that I'm funny. I think I'm funny. So
Rosita put up, I'm a people person. I love to cook and I'm funny.
Mhm.
Okay. Kendra says, hey, I'm Kendra. I sing and act. I really like art and I love Jesus. Literally in that order.
In that order.
Okay. So, Dr. Tar, can you explain when you put that out, that how you introduce yourself to new people, and how that reveals how you view yourself? Can you explain a little bit more to that, like what you put in the book?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me on. I'm so excited to be a part of Warrior Wednesday. Shout out to all my beautiful warriors.
Yes.
And the Jenkins love Pastor Billy and First Lady. I was going to give you Pastor Paula. You want the ordination?
Uh-oh.
I know somebody else even heard called you Pastor Paula, and I'm like, okay, so did I call me that?
But actually, those two words that I started the book with is my least favorite setting to be in. I would rather be on stage in front of 10,000 people than in a room with 10 and have to answer that phrase, introduce yourself, say. And often, just like you, First Lady, I'm always talking about who I'm connected to. I'm the
Yeah, we
mother
lose
of,
them. Okay.
the wife of. At the time of writing the book, I was the first lady of. And so, say who we are before I was the wife of, before I was the mother of, even before and after I was the
Okay. She's breaking up, but I think she said, who do you
first
say before? Okay.
lady.
We're technology now, so we have technical difficulties, right? Um,
I can
yeah,
hear a little bit. She was saying before she would always say that she was the wife. She always was who she was connected to. She would say,
yeah.
I'm the wife of, or I'm the mother of, or I'm the first lady of. She did, that's what she said. She was connected. Whatever, however, she said, she also said she would rather, she would stand in front of 10,000 people than sit in a room of 10 and have to introduce herself. That's,
I think that's I know for me, I hope I don't ever have to go first, because I want to hear what everybody else says so I know how to say it. So then it's like, okay, we'll come back around to my name. But it was a very interesting thing. And she said before the titles or labels, that's a way of how you could introduce yourself, like who you are. Because I think before, like Jessica, like before you be like, oh, okay, who are you?
who are you?
And I think Rosita puts up here, it depends on the setting.
That's what I was
That's
saying.
true. That's true.
Yeah, it depends on the setting.
Yes,
Sure.
Lady Rose. It depends on the setting. Some settings I may introduce what I do. Some settings I may introduce who I'm attached to. Some settings I may introduce my personality, my character traits. It just kind of depends. But sometimes I don't really know what to say. You're like,
but it was very interesting because in the book it was she used the word labels. And those are labels that we get, that people give us, labels we may get when we're younger. And so our question, I know when the ladies and we were talking this week, the question was, is there a difference between labels and the lies that are told to us? So maybe, that is, very interesting about, and it was a quote that she gave in the book. And it says, essentially, I told you about my labels, but realistically, how often do we know who we are apart from our labels? It's as if we have to read our own name tags to describe ourselves.
That's amazing. That's a major quote right there.
So how often do we know who we are apart from our labels? And this is just the first chapter of the book.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of like what you just said, Paula, when you said, I listen to what everybody else says to determine what I'm going to say, almost like I don't know what I'm going to say.
Oh, no.
And that's how I feel a lot. Yeah, that's how I feel a lot of times too. Yep.
Yeah, you don't know what to say. Like, and I know, especially being married to my husband, who's a people, like I said, I think I mentioned last week, he knows all the neighbors. I don't know none of the neighbors, except Miss Myrna across the street, because she's an older woman. That's the only one I know. And we wave. We don't even say any words. We just wave at each other. So it's very interesting. So I know when it comes to my husband, I'll see people that I know my husband knows, and I may know who they are, but they have no idea who I am, because I can tell when they see me, it's no recollection. So I don't go and say hello. So I have to say, "Oh, I'm Billy's wife," So I have to, and it took a long time to recognize, what, it's okay. I don't have to be. You sometimes think you have to be something else, and I'm fine in who I am, but I am more than Billy's wife.
Right.
And so with our labels, when we think of that, we attach that to ourselves and we wear it as a badge of honor. But it's who, I am supposed to be ordained to be married to my husband, but who I am, I don't have to be introduced as
right.
In that manner.
I like what she said, and everybody kind of said that was good, and it was. It's almost as you have to look at your own name tag to know who you are. Who are you intrinsically? This is Dr. Tar. She's back in. I'm gonna add her to the stream. Oh, you doing it, lady?
Okay, Dana, you're doing it at the same time I am. Yeah.
I thought
there you are.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. I'm just talking. I had no idea you didn't know anything I was saying.
And I was trying to figure out something about text her, but then I was like, it's okay. It's okay. Good, we're glad you're back. So you can finish your statement about labels, but I did read while you were in transit. I did read the statement about where was it? So what we mentioned, the quote you made about realistically, how often do we know who we are apart from our labels? It's as if we have to read our own name tags to describe ourselves. So
yes.
So you were going into
so I was talking about the first two words of the book, introduce yourself. I would rather be on stage in front of 10,000 people speaking with a microphone than in a room with 10 people and someone says, introduce yourself. Because I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say in this setting. I don't know what people are expecting as an answer. And I'm like, sometimes I feel like I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself. Who are you really? And like you, Lady Paula, so often I'm introducing myself based on my connections. I'm the wife of Charles Jenkins. I'm the mother of Princess Paris Charles III. I'm the daughter of Margaret Ross. Like, I am listing who I'm connected to and not who I am as an individual. Because the truth of the matter for all of us is that you were somebody that God created before you were the wife of, before you were the mother of.
That's good.
God created you, chose you to be on this earth for that time, from your birthday to your death date. You are here on purpose, in purpose. So who is it that you are
individually. And part of your purposes on earth can be connected to your wifing and your mothering and your serving. But there's something and someone that you are individually, and you are enough. And the thing that I have to think back on and reflect in those moments where I feel like those connections are what make my life matter. I have to remember that when I get to heaven, when I get to glory, we are going in one by one, and not two like Noah's Ark.
Stand on my own. I gotta stand on my own. I can't call nobody else's name. I have to. I can't say, then God, I was the mother of. Or I give so much. He ain't gonna look for that. No.
Right. And so God is gonna hold me accountable for what I did with my life. I don't get to have this special excuse pass. Well, what had happened was I was going to do what you had told me to do, but this husband you gave me, you know, he's high demand. He has these kids you gave me, you know, they need a lot of special attention, and so I don't get to do that. I still have to be accountable for the life I led on earth at the end of my life. And so that means every single day I got to check my enoughness and who I am as an individual.
Yes, that is so good. Kendra, one of our right before you got back on, Kendra wrote, I definitely feel that as a growing adult, I'm not establishing myself as Kendra and not just Troy and Deidre's daughter. I felt guilty about it for a while, like I was disowning them, but it's really just establishing my individuality. And that right there is in the essence, because all your life you go that way. It's, I am this, I am that. And, you know, it's just that part where you got to stand by yourself. And it's that time, what is your purpose and what God created you for?
I just love talking to pastors' wives. So what I'm often saying to pastors' wives is actually something that we all should be listening to. And this is the statement: do what you're created to do, not what you're expected to do. And sometimes we just live like baby.
Wait a minute, I gotta type that in.
I'm putting it in the comments too. I'm putting it in the comments when she started saying
do what you are created to do. Not expected.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You know, something that really helped me. I was at a Leading and Loving It conference. Shout out to Lori Wilhite and Brandy, who are amazing in leading that effort. And at this Leading and Loving It conference that happens every fall in Vegas, one of the speakers, Julie Richard, she was talking about motherhood. And she said this simple statement that was life-changing. It was like, sometimes you hear something so simple that it's profound. She just kept saying, I control my family schedule. And so she was talking about, you know, people who lament that we don't get to do Christmas like this, and we don't get to do Easter with our family because the church takes up all of our time. She was like, I control my family schedule. I'm not going to be complaining or lamenting about what can't happen. She said, I control what day Santa comes in my house. He don't come on Christmas in my house. She said he comes a different day every year. Sometimes he comes December 13th. Sometimes he comes December 20th. I tell the grandmas, the grandpas, I control my family schedule. And she was like, you know, everybody that was telling her, you know, if your kid is going to be in this sport, then they're expected to do AAU and this kind of travel team. She was like, all that happens on Sunday and we serve on Sunday. My child is going to make it to school doing whatever sport without AAUs. Guess why? Because I control my family schedule. And I was just like, yeah, like something about that was so empowering. I feel like we do what we're expected to do as moms, as whatever your role is, whatever your job is. But I control this body, these decisions. And just because I'm expected to mother in this way or expected to school in this way, I love the fact that Lady Paula, you homeschool. And everybody does not understand that as a person of color, that you could homeschool.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Everybody's forced to do it now.
Yes, ma'am.
At your feet, like, how? Teach us your ways.
Yes.
And it's so true. And it's so true. I love that statement, what you were created to do, not expected, because our whole lives we live pushing to do what others expect us to do. Our goal is to please. Either we start off with pleasing our parents, then we start off with pleasing our friends, then we move to don't let us get a man in our lives, then we live to please our man, and then we're living, then you get in the workforce, and then you're trying to please your boss for elevation, and so all of this, and so it's this big cycle of pleasing everybody, but what am I really created to do? And you have to know that, so that when somebody does come up and offer you something, then you won't be like, oh no, that's not really what. Then you can have the power to say no.
And that power to say no, and empower you.
No is a complete sentence.
Yeah,
that is a complete sentence. I love it.
And it's freeing, and that goes in line with what we talked about last week, that you can be free. You're free from that label, that which we called it last week, just the lies or whatever they may be. But now Dr. Tara has enlightened us on what it really is, and it's a lie and a label, because it is what people put on us and what we put on ourselves, and then we get free. You get freedom when you take that label off and say, you don't have to confine me into this particular box. I'm a little bit of everything. And then when I find what God really created me to do, that really makes me go, what really drives me, then you can be really free. Then people looking at you like, I want some of that. I want that.
Yes.
People are so confused and frustrated. Like, who told you could do that?
Right.
Yeah, and people do live in awe. They look in awe at our lives, or like anybody's life you see and they're going, you're like, how did you end up doing that? But it was a quote that you gave, because your book, I'm telling you, I haven't even got past chapter 1.
Chapter 1, come on.
Nothing in there that's just. You got to get past chapter 1, because she talks about the pleasing and how. And I'm not going to give it away, because she gives the story about how when we're young, that's what we're taught. From the time that we get here, we're taught to please people. Just like you said, it starts with our parents, and then we go to school and we want to please people. Y'all got to read it. It's
good. You are hired, Shannon. You are hired.
No, it was the quote. No longer do I conform to whom others say I should be, but find fulfillment in who God designed me to be.
Yeah.
But find fulfillment in who God designed me to be. And that, in a nutshell, when I read that today, the audience of one came in my mind. And I was like, okay, where did the audience of one come from? So I had to research. And I was like, okay, it just popped in. Now, I've never said that before in my life. So I was like, what, so then when I looked it up, and then I said, no, the audience of the one.
Yes.
That's the audience of the one. So if I live my life to please him, I'm only accepting the criticism from him, I'm only accepting, doing things to please him, then I can be free. Because then you may not understand. And most of the time when God tells us to do something, most time people don't understand. They have no clue.
Listen. The majority, the majority in the Bible was wrong most of the time. The crowd in the Bible most of the time was wrong.
Most of the time.
Right. And it's
wouldn't it be a shame to live our lives with people applauding and God silent?
Sure. My God.
Good. And I've been so free, just like I said, that chapter, Shannon, you are hired, because I would buy the book again, and I bought it. And Lady Paula talked about it. She said, get the book. We all got it, and it freed me. But I remember, I always tell the story, since we've been doing the Warrior Wednesday, just being transparent. I had to go. We went to counseling, my husband and I, because I went through life change of at 50, trying to find who I was. And inside the counseling session, the one of the things that came out was that my husband felt that I was searching for something. He was told the counselor, what are you searching for? And I, I was through tears and I was crying to the counselor. He says, I just need you to be my wife. But the counselor checked him. He said, she is her own person. It's her own person. He said, I just need you to be my wife. And it wasn't that we were going through any we needed counseling for me. He needed to come to my session. So that's I just wanted to, I needed it, and that freed me because he told me to find something only for you.
Yes.
Only for you. And that's how you're going to discover who you are. And that journey took this whole year from 50 to 51. When I turned 51, so this is right on time. This is really what God designed for us in the season to really discover as we're going through COVID and staying still. You are in that audience of the one to be able to speak to you and talk to us. He's giving us that time. And Dr. Tara, your book is right on time because we have been going in this trajectory for weeks.
We were talking about it. Yeah, absolutely.
And then it came up. So I'm so grateful. That was just my little brief testimony about discovering. And I'm still on my journey. So it's not an ending place, but I had to hear that. And I had to free myself of wanting to please and just be Greg's wife.
I love that. I'm so glad you shared that as well, because sometimes we feel like we've moved past whatever we thought we were going to do or supposed to do. And actually we've suppressed something that we wanted to do. And then that suppression turns into resentment of whoever you think you did it for.
Come on.
Yes, ma'am.
So it takes some time to get back to even invest the time to do that. So I'm grateful that you invested the time and your husband's along that journey with you. That's beautiful. I think so many people need to hear that.
Yeah, people need to hear that. And because it's a journey. And that's what you said, the journey to discovering who you already are. It's who he created, who he created you to be. And there was a part, I think it's in the questions part. Oh, those questions. I was like, I'm gonna have to take my time. This not no recap of what you read. This is introspection.
Self-discovery at its finest.
Yes, but it was what I think one of the questions is I don't know if it was a question or it was a statement. It was about the labels, but I think here it is. But it says that some of the labels or stickers are easily peel off, but others peel off partly, and you can still see part of the price tag. Then others are stubborn and will not come off. So let's deal with some label removal. So that's a process. That's like it was just like, I said, Lord, this gonna be one of them.
Yeah. So like, I don't want to write in my book because I don't want anybody to find it. So like typing up their answers and saving it and locking it away.
Locking it away.
But the thing is, you never know. Sometimes you have forgotten what you forgot, right? So sometimes it takes an exercise like this, and I'm so grateful that the book is an interactive experience for you to begin to like kind of unearth some things and find out the root of some things. Before COVID, I had the privilege to talk to some ladies in person and about this theme, and I would just open up a floor and say, what is a nickname you had? And so one young lady said her nickname was Scooty because she was lazy when it was time to walk at 1 year old, and she was just scoot instead of walk. And she was 4 years old, and everybody in her family still calls her Scooty. And so even though it's a funny nickname, it's rooted in an accusation of laziness. Right?
Okay.
And so every time somebody in your family calls you that, or every holiday or every family reunion, or everybody that knows you from that era of your life, you're reminded of that. Somebody else in that same setting said that math was really hard for her. And she said she remembers doing her math homework every night and her dad would walk by and sing, "Never gonna get it, never gonna get it." Never.
Oh my God.
That is so cruel.
Well,
That's cruel.
she'll never get it.
Think of the moments that are triggering.
Uh-huh.
You could be in a department store and that song come on. Like, you never know
Yes.
Mhm.
things that are in there that are actually impacting the way you view yourself and the way
Sure.
you function in life.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm.
good. I have a family nickname, and mine was Becky because they used to say I was like a blonde or a ditch growing up. But now, you know, white girl, valley girl, Becky. But now, you know, I'm older, I'm mature, I had some life experience. I'm not as, you know, I'm not that same person. So I don't want to be called Becky at 30 years old anymore.
Becky got a bad
I
name.
am Jessica.
I know, right?
That is so funny. I mean, but it's so true. It's things
It's
that
true.
stick with you and you become a label and you believe it. You know, it's just, I mean, I can't even begin to talk, you know, that's just hard. I think about the little girl with the never gonna give up or nicknames that were derogatory, but you accepted them as, you know, as that's who you are.
Right.
That is like, but I just do want to encourage all you ladies to get this book.
Yeah.
If you can. How much time do we have? Oh, we have 15 minutes. So we did want to open it up if anybody did have any questions for Dr. Tar. But I also wanted to say that she is going to be doing a Dr. Tar's classroom. Yes, I was so excited when I saw it. Dr. Tar's classroom. It's going to be on Monday nights for 6 weeks, July 20th through August 24th. So if Dr. Tar, you want to explain a little bit about that? So the ladies, if they want to, we're going to give them the link. We'll put it on our Facebook page for the ladies if they want to get more information. But I don't know if you wanted to explain a little bit about it.
Yeah, so in the book, Enoughness, the journey to discovering who you already are, I believe that there are 6 stages of enoughness. So through the 6 weeks, each week will deal with one of the stages. And so what I found is no matter how beautiful a person is, how smart, how much you got it going on, there's some area of your life where you've struggled with feeling like you weren't enough, or either you were treated like you would never be enough in a specific area. And especially now we're acknowledging some of those issues come from the way we're treated because we look different, or, you know, whatever setting you grew up in. If you were the one that looked like nobody else in the room, sometimes those feelings come out of that. But each week we're going to deal with one of the stages of enoughness. And so we begin at the stage of never enough, and then we end at the stage of enough said. So each week there's a stage, and at the end of each stage, we deal with those interactions that are in the book for us to do some self-reflection so that we can, you know, really trace our own steps. And I also talk about tracing our sounds. What did you hear?
Mm-hmm.
To trace the sounds that are still echoing in your head.
Wow.
Trace the sound. And wow, because you just don't realize. I think last week when we talked about some of the lies that we believe about ourselves, and how, and then you just start listing things that, and it's easy to list those things. We don't realize it's easy to list those things, but then when we counter it, like, what are the truths? What does God say about you? I tend to have to say, you know what? Well, He says that, but do I really believe that, what He says? So it's that tracing that sound to counsel out that His voice is louder than what I heard, and how to turn and mute that sound off. Because it's going to come. I mean, it's not like, oh, once I found out that I am enough and I believe it, like, I still not going to have to contend with it, because it's very easy for me to pick that up again. But we'll have tools. That's what I think this book is really like. As I was skimming, I was like, this book right here will help you. I think it's something that you can pick up again.
It's a nice stand read. You grab it right.
It's an easy read.
It's easy read. It's 130 pages. That's including the interactive pages. And I've been so blessed that some counselors have been recommending the book.
Wow.
Because it's helping them work through.
It's healing. It's really healing. Yeah.
Thank God.
Amen.
Wow. Wow.
Congratulations. Great. Amazing.
Yes.
In the season. It's very timely.
It's very good. Rose put up feeling like you're not enough will paralyze you.
For sure. For sure.
And that is true, because it will hinder you and stop you from moving. And that is so true. Do we have any questions or anything for Dr. Tara for tonight? I did have another quote, because I put up all the things that spoke out to me. All the things that spoke out to me. Here was one: the narratives which others continue to project on us as we go along each day can debilitate us, reminding us of what we lack or how little we are compared to others. The narratives which others continually project on us as we go along each day can debilitate us, reminding us of what we lack or how little we are compared to others.
Sometimes I miss the world before social media. Social media makes it all.
Listen, wait till y'all get to that part. Get to that part. Get to that part.
It was reading.
Listen,
This is worse because we're looking every day at these filtered people, and
absolutely.
It's like we're comparing our real to their unreal.
Right.
Yeah.
Show you what they want.
That's good.
I mean, what they want you to see. Right.
We only show what we want people to see, and we're not going to let people really in. Some people are tell-alls, but most people are not, and they're going to show you when life is good, and they're sitting at the dinner table with candles with their husband, but they're not showing you all of the other stuff that was going on behind the scenes. We all do it, and so in some kind of way, because of the labels and because of the things that we want, people pleasing. That whole people.
It's like staging. It's like staging. Prime example. Before I get on, I look at the camera and I'm like, okay, let me put that flower pot right there. That looks nice. Let me make sure that thing off that table. Let me make sure everything is together, because I don't need you to see that I looked at before. I ran down here to get, and so then people think your life is together. The same as, especially church. We put on this whole facade at church, and we worship. We give the testimony. We give the good part of the testimony. We don't share the part where, what I did. I was sitting on the side of the road with a gun, and I was ready. But we'll share the part of I was sitting on the side of the road and I was praying and the Lord came, but we may not share all of the whole story. And so when we have that and you compare, and I know, and as a pastor's wife, there's some pastor's wives who, they do all this stuff and they do this, and then there's some who don't do anything. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's nothing, but you feel like, I have to do something. But who are you? So it's just, that whole thing can debilitate you. If I compare myself, then I feel like I can't measure up. So then I won't do anything.
Yeah, and then you really won't walk in the lane, like Dr. Tara was saying. Then you really won't walk in the lane that you're supposed to walk in and how you were designed, because then you try to reinvent yourself in somebody else's movie or somebody else's world. You try to take on things that God didn't equip you for or purpose you for, and you do things that are just out of order. And you always are going to feel like that if you keep doing that. If you take that comparison trap that we fall into and then say, well, I'm going to create this because they did it. No, that's not how it's supposed to be. You have to walk in your lane.
A lot of times I'm so tired.
Right.
Like you're not energized by trying to be somebody else. It takes a lot of energy to be fake.
Yes. We talked about that. Yeah. We talk to keep up a lie. That's a lot of energy. You got to remember what you said, who you said it to. What lie did I tell this person?
It's the work. To be yourself is exhausting. To be yourself is just, this is who I am. Erica has a question. How do you break the fear of fear?
Wow.
That's a great question.
That's great. You know, I was doing a live yesterday, and the young lady was talking about doing, like, saying a yes through the fear. You know, like, many times we can't wait for the fear to evaporate or dissipate before we move. There's some things that we have to take action while afraid.
Wow.
And pushing through it. Through it. And just watch God allow you to still say yes and do what He's called you to do, even in moments of fear.
Yes.
And I'm a firm believer of that, because when the slogan, I think, is like, do it afraid.
Yes.
And I believe that when you are afraid and I do feel less than, or I feel not capable, then I'm resting in God's ability to do.
Absolutely.
You know what? I'm gonna go do it. I may not even know all that. I don't even may not have all the information, but I'm gonna go and do it. And Erica, I found that as I started reading through the Old Testament and then I look at Abraham's life and how he didn't have a clear destination. He didn't have all details. He just had a go, and he went. And then how everything lined up. And I was like, you know what, God, I'm gonna start just going. Because I'm a fixer. I'm gonna plan it out. I need to know all the details. And that's why I was so messed up early today when my car was acting up, because I don't have all the details. I done looked through the book, and according to the manual and what's supposed to happen, this supposed to be fixed if I do these steps. But then the steps didn't work. Then I'm mad. And so I was like, okay, Lord, you know what? You're worried. Rest. And then the dealership called today. The car started up. When it got there, I almost cussed. I said, what? I said, okay, Lord. You know what, God? I'm just... I'm going to rest in you.
Dr. Tara, it's that intermission, Dr. Tara. That fear. It's that intermission. What's going to happen next?
Lady Paula, there was a question, Maddie. If you can scroll back up, Maddie had a really good question. I just can't see it. I was going to put that.
I see it. Cool. Okay. Maddie had a question. Okay, what is that was going to be one of our questions, Maddie.
Yes, it was.
Inspired you to write about this topic. Was it due to a personal experience or just overall observation of what's going on in today's world? This is such an important topic that we need to discuss on a regular, since we're young girls.
Since we've been young girls.
Actually, it really came out of one message. I thought it was going to be one message that I did at one conference. And every time I had an opportunity to talk to anyone, this enough theme just was haunting me. And I was like, it has to be more than a message. It's supposed to be words on paper that people are able to digest and sit with. And I really get frustrated, honestly, seeing women settle for less when they were ordained for more. I was like, girl, you are enough. You are the prize. You are God's creative creation.
Yes, that's it.
I love that you just said that, because on our call last week, I'm about to cry. On our call last week, we were doing affirmations, and it was like we had a whole lot popping up, and we were all agreeing and congruent on some things. But somebody said it is what it is. Like that's what they have told themselves. It just is what it is. I'll just settle, kind of thing. And that right there just confirm, we don't have to settle for just being right where we are. God wants us to be so much more, because we are. It's already in us. That's amazing.
Yeah, and it just reminded me of the verse that's in the front of the book, even though I think we talked about it last week, that we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works. So even if you just stop right there, we are his workmanship, that what he created, that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are his design, and that anything he designs, it has a purpose. It's just not there to stand there or to look good. It's a purpose behind it. So we have so much more. So when I think of how valuable I am,
Yes.
or how worthy I am, then I don't settle. I want all that he has for me. So it's something I have to remind myself. As I mentioned, we have to remind ourselves every day who we are until you get. I think you were talking about in the mirror. You may have to put things on your walls or your little corner of your world, wherever your corner is, things that you can say to yourself to remind you who God created you to be, how he sees you.
Yes.
Yeah. How does
And you are enough now. Sometimes
Yes.
like when this happens,
Yes.
then I'll be enough.
Yes.
But you're not waiting on some special delivery man from Domino's in 30 minutes. When I get the man, when I have the child, when I get the degree, when I get the house, when I move to the next city, whatever it is, wherever you go, there you are. Listen, you are enough now. If you don't lose the 10 pounds, you're enough. If you don't, you're enough. If you don't get the surgery, you're enough. If you are called to be where you are for the rest of your life, you are enough now. So what is it that you're supposed to do now?
My God.
You are enough now.
You are enough now.
Right now.
Yes.
In this
Yes.
moment.
Improvement, but you cannot stop where you are and say, I'm going to wait until this thing happens to feel my enoughness.
That's good. I'm typing.
We gonna be bouncing too this week.
Yeah. Thank you.
But it's so scary though, because I think sometimes the fear is of our success. You know, like if we actually do move and do it while we're scared, that we will succeed. And then, you know, that's even scarier than, you know, staying in the place where we are. So
yeah.
Girl, you talking good, sis. I'm telling you.
It's like sitting in an open jail cell.
Open jail cell. Open jail cell.
Look, Carla said this is freeing me. And it's me too, Carla.
Where is it at?
She just said this is freeing me. I am enough now. And me too. Me too.
You are enough.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll put that out there. Thank you, Dr. Tar. We're gonna have a whole lot of saying. Last week we had confidence and flipping the script, and now you are enough now. Now. That means you have to wait. What are you waiting? Yeah.
Yes, I believe that Nina said earlier I think something we said was the title of the book she's writing. And then now she said, you gave me the ending of my book. Look at God. Yes, Nina. Yes. Yes.
Lady Rose, I saw on here. Thank you.
I am enough because of who God is, not who I am. Did Dr. Tar say that? Is that what you said, Dr. Tar?
I didn't, but that is in the book. Not because of in spite of me.
Yeah.
It's so funny. And this week, Lady Rose and ourselves, the daughters of Pastor Jenkins, whatever, we pray every week on Thursdays. I don't always make the call, that Paula. But we're starting to do the book. We're going through your book. And so we're starting on Thursday, going through the book. So I'm excited about. Yes, I was like. So I'm gonna let you know how that goes, how it's going. It was good, but I'm just excited because this right here is just confirmation. It's very encouraging because a lot of times you don't hear that you're enough. You hear what you have to do to be better, but just that, you know what, I'm enough, and it frees you to know that yes, it's a journey, but I'm enough because I don't have to compare myself to anyone else or do things to please others, but to please God.
Yeah, and before I do enough already, there's a chapter called Just Enough, and it talks about what you don't have. So yeah, some stuff we don't have, but God loves to show off His sufficiency and our inefficiency.
Girl,
Show off, and we can just go through Scripture and say Moses couldn't talk, but that's who God chose, right? Peter had a cussing problem, but that's who God chose. Esther didn't have a mama or daddy, but that's who God chose to be queen.
Yeah.
He like uses what you don't have to really show off.
Yeah.
You don't have, you can show off. You just, that's so good. That is so good.
Yes, my sister said my goal this week is to believe I am enough right now, just like this. Yes, Kel, I need you to believe that this week I am enough. Not this week, but then it'll be your goal for every week that I am enough right now. Yes.
In the morning, just pray like, God, help me be today's best.
My God.
We want to forward and be like, if I could get back in that dress in that corner of the closet,
girl, I'm holding on.
Be today's best. Be today's best.
Be today's best. You give us some nuggets.
Today's best. And ladies, I'm so excited because Dr. Tara is going to be with us in September for our virtual conference. So even just what she did today, has encouraged us. So I know when the Lord uses her, because when He gives her something, it comes from what her heart and what He shares. And then as always, her stories, her what they call illustrations. You know what it is? Illustrations.
One of my friends said trinkets. She gonna come here with some trinkets.
Okay.
Some trinkets. Yes, I like that. Yes. With
so trinkets. Proper, so.
But it's good because it brings the reality, and it's so simple and clear that I can follow, and then I hear Him. You can hear clearly. So I just want to thank you so much for blessing us today. It was beyond what I could imagine that God would use it. I'm just so thankful that you were able. Rose said call them Tar's trinket. Yes. So, but who's the winner for tonight? So they're going to get the book in the mail. We're going to mail that out to you. I'm so excited. And also, ladies, if you can't make Dr. Tar's classroom, I gave the information to our education department. Nancy, my sister. But so we're looking at how we can offer it to the ladies too. As one of our book studies. So we're encouraging you to go on Monday. For right now, go for it. But if Mondays don't work for you, in the fall or maybe early spring, we'll be doing it for you guys to do. But it does look like something you can do on your own. So I just encourage you to still get the book.
Put it by your nightstand because you're gonna have
get the book, read it slow. And just go on a journey. Go on a journey. And Dr. Tara is always on social media. So you can reach out to her and follow her and get her little nuggets. She has something all the time is coming on, always all the time. So it's such a blessing to watch her. But okay, so who's our winner for tonight?
We had three people, Vonnie, Lindsay, Kendra Spate, and Jennifer are all going in the drawing. So you want to pick it now?
Yeah, so we can let them know if they'll be excited.
Okay.
So we get their book out to them.
You doing it, Jess, or you want me to?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'm shaking them up.
Take shake.
Drum roll.
All 100 of them. Shake all 100.
All right,
drum roll
is Miss Vonnie Lindsay.
Congratulations. Miss Bonnie.
Congratulations. That's
Yes,
awesome.
yes, Miss Bonnie. And we want to encourage you to go out, and if you can on Mondays, with the link, sign up to join Dr. Tarr's classroom. And Kelly said, if someone needs a book, let her know. I got you.
Come on, blessing upon blessing.
You lady, anybody who may have wanted a book, let her know, and she will be a blessing to you. So we just wanted
to say that it's on Kindle in Spanish as well.
Yes, Maddie.
Give it to your family.
Give it to your family, your mom and your sister and everybody. Yes, that would be great. Yes, that's so exciting. So yes, it is on Kindle. So if you want to start reading tonight, you can go in and get it from Kindle. You just need the title. Oh, okay.
I'll type it in. I typed it earlier. I typed it like 2 times, but there it is.
Oh, there we go.
Here we go. It's called Enoughness. It can be purchased on Amazon and on is it Dr. Tara Jenkins or TaraJenkins.com?
It's TaraJenkinsOnline.com.
Online.com. I'm sorry, ladies. I should have looked that up before I made that graphic. But so you can go to Amazon or TaraJenkinsOnline.com to purchase the book. It's called Enoughness. And we'll put it on the also put it on our Facebook page so you ladies can go back to, and we'll put the information about the classroom and information will be coming out about our virtual conference. But all those who already have pre-registered for our conference, you already are in, and we got some surprises and everything. We're so excited about our virtual conference that's coming in September. But okay, ladies, well, we have reached our time for the end of Warrior Wednesday. We just love you guys so much, and we're just thankful that you guys take the time to join us for this hour. Next week, we're going to take a little break, just for a week. We'll be back on the 22nd. We'll be back on the 22nd. So for July and August, we're going to do every other week, ladies. So we can have a little break in there, but every other week we're going to do for July and August. So we'll see you again on July 22nd.
We're not breaking from that reading, though. We're going to still be reading the word in that book. Come on.
Yes, we're going to be reading the word in that book. So we encourage you to do that. But we love you guys. You all have a wonderful evening. And as Jessica says, what do you say, Jess?
Warrior out.
Oh, now you changed it. You changed it to
Warrior out. We're out, ladies. We're out. See you guys.
We're out, ladies.
Love everyone.
We love you.
Love.
Thank you again, Dr. Tar, so much.
Thank you so much
for I'm sorry.
Thank you for supporting the book.
Oh,
thank you for supporting.
Yes. Dana, my computer's acting up, so you have to end our broadcast for it.